Global attention remained focused on the NATO summit as U.S. President Donald Trump drew widespread attention for a series of remarks and moments that quickly circulated across international media and social platforms. During one press conference, President Trump mistakenly referred to Iran as the Islamic Republic of Japan, prompting immediate reactions from reporters and political commentators. In another exchange, he appeared to misspeak while referencing the 2015 Iran nuclear agreement, commonly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. Several additional comments during the summit also generated headlines, including remarks about Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and ongoing discussions surrounding NATO allies and regional security. Throughout the event, President Trump repeatedly defended his administration's foreign policy, arguing that the United States remains stronger than ever militarily and economically. Questions about Russia's war in Ukraine also dominated the summit. During one exchange with reporters, President Trump briefly appeared to confuse Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky with Russian President Vladimir Putin before correcting the conversation and continuing to answer questions about diplomatic efforts. The moment quickly spread online, adding to broader discussions about the president's public appearances during the summit. President Trump also stated that he continues speaking with President Putin regarding efforts to end the war in Ukraine, expressing optimism that negotiations could eventually produce results. Meanwhile, discussions at NATO centered on military spending, collective defense, cybersecurity, and continued support for Ukraine. Alliance leaders reaffirmed their commitment to regional security while emphasizing cooperation among member nations in response to ongoing global conflicts. President Trump also addressed tensions involving Iran, repeating warnings that the United States possesses the military capability to target additional infrastructure if diplomatic efforts fail. Those remarks drew criticism from some analysts, who argued that strong public statements could complicate ongoing diplomatic negotiations. Iranian officials responded by reiterating that their country would defend its sovereignty while continuing discussions with regional partners regarding future security arrangements. At the same time, international observers continue monitoring military activity across the Middle East, particularly in the Strait of Hormuz, where commercial shipping remains a major concern for global energy markets. Any disruption in that strategically important waterway could significantly affect oil prices and international trade. Beyond foreign policy, President Trump's appearance at the summit also became the subject of widespread online discussion. Videos showing the president walking between meetings, climbing aircraft stairs, and interacting with other world leaders received millions of views across social media platforms. Supporters argued that isolated video clips were being taken out of context, while critics questioned the president's physical stamina during the demanding international schedule. The White House has not indicated that the president experienced any medical issues during the summit and has continued to describe his overseas trip as successful. Meanwhile, NATO officials emphasized that the alliance remains focused on strengthening cooperation despite continuing geopolitical challenges. The summit also included discussions involving Turkey, defense procurement, sanctions policy, and future military cooperation among member states. President Trump praised President Erdogan during their bilateral meeting, describing him as a longtime friend and an important regional leader. Questions also emerged regarding sanctions involving Turkey's defense purchases and possible future cooperation involving advanced military aircraft. Administration officials said discussions between Washington and Ankara remain ongoing. Meanwhile, financial markets continue watching developments closely as investors monitor geopolitical risks involving both Eastern Europe and the Middle East. Energy analysts note that continued uncertainty surrounding regional security could influence oil prices, shipping costs, and inflation in economies around the world. Diplomatic observers say the coming weeks will likely prove critical as negotiations continue on multiple fronts involving Ukraine, Iran, and broader NATO security initiatives. Despite political disagreements among world leaders, officials continue emphasizing the importance of diplomacy, communication, and cooperation to reduce the risk of further escalation. As international events continue to unfold, governments across Europe, North America, and the Middle East are expected to release additional statements regarding defense policy, regional stability, and future diplomatic meetings. You're listening to our National Affairs Bulletin. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more national and international news throughout the day.